The phenomenon of Chinese business owners abruptly abandoning their companies is reaching new extremes, with each case more shocking than the last.
Yesterday morning, I came to work as usual. I went out for lunch at noon, but when I came back, the company was gone. The doors were locked. I waited there all afternoon and into the night, and now even today, no one's taking responsibility. I'm furious. I never thought something like this could happen. I've been abandoned by my company. I've worked here for over 4 years. Just before lunch, the HR department suddenly told us not to come back in the afternoon. They even put up a notice on the wall saying the shareholders have agreed to dissolve the company. Our company still has over 30 employees, but no one is managing us. The boss has disappeared and the leadership team is gone. It's just the customer service staff and workers left now, so no leaders at all. Even someone on maternity leave was let go without notice. The company just dissolved without any formal or written communication. The company left a phone number claiming it was for inquiries about severance and arrangements. But the number doesn't work. No one answers. You can just hear the automated response. The user you're trying to reach is unavailable. They refuse to answer any calls from employees.
Journalists managed to contact Liu, the legal representative of Henan Kunyao Intelligent Technology Co., Ltd., after persistent efforts. There are indeed funding issues, and we might need to suspend operations temporarily. However, if we do suspend, we will handle employee compensation per legal procedures. When questioned about the sudden abandonment of his company and its employees, including those on maternity leave, Liu explained that financial issues had led to the company temporarily ceasing operations. When pressed further, Liu reportedly stated that the company would not simply walk away and that employees were protected by law. However, he noted that the current approach to handling the situation might not be acceptable to the employees and promised to confirm the details. As Liu attempted to end the call, an employee questioned how he could claim ignorance after personally chairing a meeting about the situation the previous day. Liu responded irritably, asking if it was possible to go back to yesterday and insisting that his priority was ensuring their immediate rights. The employees expressed hope that the company would handle the issue in compliance with labor laws. Liu's vague assurances left employees skeptical about their chances of receiving wages or compensation. His statement that the current handling of the situation might not be acceptable raised further concerns about the fairness of any proposed solutions. The situation sparked widespread criticism online. Some commenters likened it to guerrilla tactics, calling it a tragic reflection of the current era where legal fraud seems acceptable but seeking fair wages is deemed criminal. Others noted the absurdity of companies disappearing overnight, with one person remarking that bringing lunch to work had become necessary in case the company vanished during a break. One individual summed up the sentiment by saying that legal fraud and illegal wages encapsulated the harsh reality faced by workers today. A shoe factory owner reportedly vanished overnight, leaving behind unpaid wages of 30 to 40,000 yuan owed to a couple for 2 months of work. One worker noted that they had yet to receive their June salary despite continuing to work at the factory. In Zhejiang, a clothing factory owner allegedly failed to pay employees for 3 to 4 months and secretly moved machinery out of the factory in an attempt to flee. However, he was caught by a group of female employees who stripped him of his shirt and paraded him through the streets, sparking local outrage. Reports indicated this was not his first attempt to escape responsibility. In Huzhou's Zheli district, known as the capital of kids' clothes for its thriving clothing industry, multiple factory owners were reported to have fled, leaving workers stranded. Another case involved a children's clothing factory in the same region, where the owner disappeared, leaving employees unpaid and equipment abandoned. The business has collapsed. It's over. We're shutting down by the end of the year. All these sewing machines, like the Checkmate A4B and A5E models, are up for sale. Prices range from a few hundred to a couple thousand yuan. There are many of them, all in excellent condition. But this year, garment production has been tough, and even selling these sewing machines is difficult. In Zhejiang, a woman in the clothing wholesale industry described widespread despair among online and offline factories.
Most factories in Puyuan have already stopped production. Don't expect any new designs to come out. This year's Singles Day was a disaster for many e-commerce platforms. For women's fashion, return rates have reached 89%. Out of every 10 items sold, 8 are returned. It's all pointless work now. Hardly anyone can make a profit in the clothing industry anymore. In the future, we'll have to rely on a recovery in the real economy. While online sales look good on the surface with high volumes, the return rates are simply too high.
Another individual working in apparel software noted that the latest news from the industry was grim. There are rumors of a wave of closures in the clothing industry. It's said that many established manufacturers here are filing for bankruptcy. But is it because their businesses failed, or have they caught wind of something and decided to shut down under the guise of bankruptcy? That's unclear. What is clear, however, is that properties in this area are being sold off at significantly discounted prices. If someone pays in full, sellers are willing to offer an 80% discount. Reports have previously labeled 2023 as the most challenging year for China's textile exports in over 30 years. However, 2024 has already exceeded those grim predictions. Early in the year, major fashion retailer La Chapelle saw its market value plummet by 90%, closed 9,000 stores over 3 years, and had its headquarters auctioned off. The crisis deepened as mass factory closures swept through Huzhou, Zhejiang, a major production hub for Chinese clothing. This collapse marks a sharp decline in China's once dominant textile export sector, signaling widespread shrinkage in an industry long centered to the country's foreign trade. Layoffs in China are not unusual, but a recent incident in Wuhan left many shocked. In September, a design institute reportedly sought to downsize without paying severance, targeting veteran employees with over a decade of service. Faced with this dilemma, the institute's director organized a team-building event at a karaoke bar. Reports alleged that the outing included heavy drinking and even solicitation of illegal activities. The employees, allegedly unaware of what was happening, were soon apprehended alongside the director in a police raid. Subsequently, a deputy director, reportedly colluding with the employer, dismissed the employees for misconduct and participation in illegal activities, avoiding any severance payments. Online reactions to the story were mixed, with some commenting that such tactics, while outrageous, are not unheard of. One person recounted a similar experience, explaining that they avoided trouble by distancing themselves during a similar setup, saying, "If the boss gets into trouble, someone will help them. If I get into trouble, no one will care." Others criticized the institute's director, describing the situation as betrayal and noting that eliminating long-serving employees without compensation was a deliberate strategy. Another case surfaced where a company relocated its offices from the city center to a remote area at the foot of a mountain, making the commute so inconvenient that half the employees resigned voluntarily. Shortly after, the company moved back to its original location, having reduced its workforce without offering severance. In recent developments, Huang Qiheng, founder of real estate giant Hellenberg China Holdings, has reportedly transferred assets and left China. Known for being one of the most low-profile figures in China's property sector, Huang's departure has sparked significant concern in the real estate industry. Hellenberg, established in 1998, was among the earliest private real estate companies in China and consistently ranked among the nation's top 100 developers. Despite its reputation, Hellenberg faced financial troubles, including a US dollar bond default in 2022 and subsequent liquidation proceedings initiated by China Construction Bank Asia in 2023. At the time, Hellenberg also stated that it would resolutely oppose the liquidation petition, seek legal advice, and take all necessary measures to protect its legal rights. By August 2024, one of Hellenberg's trust funds, valued at 993 million yuan, defaulted on payments. The trust company demanded immediate repurchase of equity assets, payment of default penalties, and enforcement of guarantor responsibilities, even filing legal action in court. The market was soon rife with reports of Huang, the company's legal representative and actual controller, quietly transferring assets before leaving China. Huang, now 63 years old, is not only known for his real estate ventures but also his success in stock trading, earning him the nickname China's most legendary retail investor. In 2014, Huang made waves as a prolific investor. When Xinbao Corporation went public on the Shenzhen Stock Exchange, Huang placed a billion-yuan bid for 10 million shares at 10.5 yuan each, becoming the only individual investor among 19 successful bidders. With a lottery success rate of over 7%, Huang's allocation of 704,000 shares earned him an estimated profit of 2.66 million yuan by the end of the trading day. Huang's investment prowess didn't stop there. In 2009, he acquired shares in Shanghai RAAS Blood Products Co. Ltd., a blood product company. By 2010, as the sector boomed, the company's stock value soared by 150%. Huang and his brother, both among the top 6 shareholders, earned approximately 360 million yuan by 2013. Huang treated stock trading as a personal passion, assembling a high-performing investment team of 3 experts. This team, led by a Shanghai University of Finance and Economics graduate, conducted rigorous analyses of financial statements, industry reports, and market data before making decisions. According to reports, Huang's earnings from stock trading often exceeded those from his real estate ventures. However, transitioning from a successful retail investor to the head of a public company proved challenging. Despite 2 attempts to take Hellenberg public in Hong Kong in 2018 and 2019, both IPO bids failed. Founded in 1998, Hellenberg was once a hallmark of China's private real estate developers. The company thrived during the early days of China's property market, expanding nationally into cities like Kunming and Wuhan by targeting inexpensive land acquisitions. In 2013, Hellenberg's revenue exceeded 10 billion yuan for the first time. By 2015, anticipating the so-called silver era of real estate, the company launched an aggressive expansion strategy, including international market entry. However, like many private developers, this growth relied heavily on leveraging debt. By 2016, Hellenberg's outstanding bank loans and other liabilities totaled 12.9 billion yuan, with a net debt-to-equity ratio of 70%. By 2018, liabilities had soared to 28.3 billion yuan, while the ratio climbed to 134%. The company's cash flow also faced immense pressure. Between January and October 2022, Hellenberg's sales ranked 44th among developers, totaling 37.95 billion yuan, a 44.22% year-on-year decline. At the end of 2022, Hellenberg defaulted on several obligations and began withdrawing from joint projects. By late 2023, a Guangdong court declared that legal documents involving the company could not be delivered. Recent reports reveal that Huang had quietly transferred assets and fled the country. According to Freedom House's China Dissent Monitor, economic protests in China, particularly those tied to the real estate sector, accounted for 80% of all recorded demonstrations last year. Dr. Lu Ting of Nomura Securities recently urged the government to prioritize ensuring the completion of pre-sold homes, warning that unfinished properties vastly outnumber unsold inventory. He estimated that 20 million pre-sold homes in China remain incomplete. The ripple effects of these crises are evident. From unfinished buildings to failed financial investments, disillusioned homeowners and investors are demanding accountability. Simultaneously, reports suggest that Chinese state-owned enterprises are forming armed divisions, potentially to address mounting tensions from these disputes. The accumulation of anger and despair over collapsing projects and fleeing developers poses a significant threat to social stability. Experts warn that a single spark could ignite widespread protests, leading to unforeseen consequences in an already volatile environment.